Very good evening, all of you. Today we will continue with the repressible operand. In our last lecture, we talked about inducible operand, and in that we talked about lac operand. Any doubts, anyone, regarding lac operand? This was the summary we discussed about. Class. Switch on and off. Off. Okay. So, yes, beta.
Ma'am, that diagram you showed us, the lac operand diagram. I am having doubt in that.
This one?
No, ma'am. In NCERT also there is same diagram.
Okay. Yes, ask.
Ma'am, so in absence of inducer, what will be happen? Ma'am, I did not understand that.
In absence of glucose or in absence of lactose?
I mean absence of lactose.
In absence of lactose, see, lactose is inducer over here. Okay. It is the inducer over here. So if this green ball is not there, the repressor protein will be as it is. As there is no alteration in the change of formation of repressor protein, it will be able to bind to operator. And if repressor is already like fixed into operator, RNA polymerase cannot bind to promoter. So no protein synthesis will be there. That's all. It's very simple.
Okay, ma'am.
You need to draw this structure, beta, and you need to then start understanding. You have to sit with a paper and pen and draw it. What happens is when we explain in the class, many a times it is observed that your like all of your attentions are floating here and there. Then it is important for you to listen every word. If you are not listening, you will miss. So any other doubts related to lac operand? Class? So if not, then we will look into the other type of operand that is called repressible operand. So it is a repressible operand. That means, on the contrary to lac operand, this operand will be switched on in normal position. You need to switch it off. That is the control you need to make. So in normal condition, it is in positive control. In specific condition, you need to have a negative control and switch off the operand. The difference between lac and trip is clear to all of you.
Yes.
Nishka, can you tell me what is the difference, beta? Try, no problem, even if it is wrong.
Sorry, ma'am, I don't know.
You were not there in last lecture? Kausha, can you try?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
I asked what is the basic difference between lac operand and tryptophan operand?
No, ma'am.
Dish, Yesha?
Ma'am, in lac operand, it will be in bacteria, and in tryptophan operand, it will be in some other.
No. Both were studied in bacterium only. It's not that I am asking about the main functional difference. I'm not asking like that. We need to say 2-3 points. What is the basic difference between an inducible operand and a repressible operon. What is the basic difference? I'm talking when it is switch on, when it is switch off.
Ma'am, when it is switch on, then the characteristics will be
In
not
lactose
visible.
operon, is it switch on in normal condition? That's what my question is. In normal condition, lactose operon is switch on or in off condition.
Ma'am, I think off.
Very good. So lactose operon is an inducible operon. That means in normal condition, it is switch off. And whenever inducer, that is lactose, is there and glucose is absent, these two are the two conditions which switch on the lac operon. That absence of glucose and presence of lactose. At that time, the operon is switched on. Okay. In tryptophan, it is exactly different, opposite. So can now you guess what is occurring in tryptophan?
In normal condition, it is switched on.
Very good. So we need to switch it off. That is what the negative control we need to do. Very good, caution. That's what the basic difference between both of them. Okay. So we will move ahead. You can see if we consider this operon. Operon is a something we already discussed. So this is the structural gene. This is the operator and promoter part. Let me label so that it will be easy for you to understand. So this is the part of DNA which actually code for repressor. So this is the messenger RNA for repressor and this is the repressor protein. Okay. Now this is the promoter. This is the operator and this is the structural gene. So what happens is beta in normal condition, this tryptophan operon repressor is in a structure that cannot bind to operator. Okay, so what will happen? As repressor cannot bind, the RNA polymerase can bind and protein synthesis can go on. One very important thing you need to note here, lactose operon is a anabolic operator or catabolic operator. वहाँ lactose की production होती है या breakdown होता है?
Catabolic.
Catabolic.
Very good. And this is a anabolic operator. So what will happen here? There will be feedback mechanism. What? Consider I require 100 molecules of tryptophan. Okay. So if I require 100 molecules of tryptophan, the moment 101 molecules are prepared, this one will go and bind with the repressor protein. Okay, this tryptophan, the co-repressor. The moment the co-repressor is binding with the active repressor, this will transform the inactive repressor. This is inactive repressor into a repressor which is active. So क्या हो रहा है? Normal situation में जो repressor है that is inactive. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? Tryptophan की जो repressor है that is tryptophan is making this repressor into active one. फिर क्या होगा? ये यहाँ पे operator पे bind हो सकता है and RNA polymerase cannot bind. So no RNA will be made. Okay. So is this part clear? The basic idea about tryptophan operon. So this operon is in which position? Switch off. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So अब मुझे एक क्वेश्चन पूछना है, जानबूझ के I didn't add the switch on position over here. Who wish to try कि switch on position में कैसा होगा situation? What are the changes that will be there in switch on position?
Ma'am, in switch on a position, RNA will be made.
Made. Very good. So what will happen?
Ma'am, if RNA will be made, then the co-repressor will be having not
सबसे पहले ये
inactive
रिप्रेसर
repressor.
नहीं होगा,
Yes, ma'am.
ये ट्रिप्टोफैन नहीं होगा, it will not be there, and this repressor will not bind with anything. So the RNA polymerase can successfully bind with this and it can make the messenger RNA. Understood everyone? ये जो
Yes, ma'am.
repressor है, that is inactive repressor. So as it is inactive repressor, it will by any means not going to bind with the operator portion. So this is how it works. It is very easy if you understand the concept. Okay. So we will move ahead and look into the detail. So when actually the tryptophan is present in the environment, then we don't have to like reduce the tryptophan. Okay. Because in case of bacteria, and I told you the whole concept of regulation is in a way that to conserve the energy. Unnecessary expression of gene is not preferred by organism, because if I require 100 tryptophan, why I need to prepare 101? It's not required. So it is working on negative repressible feedback mechanism. So what is the feedback mechanism? When tryptophan is present at the low level, the gene is in switch on and tryptophan is present and prepared, because at that stage tryptophan is co-repressor, that is modifying the repressor into active one, is absent, and if there is presence of tryptophan excess, then this excess tryptophan will bind with the repressor to make them active one. And once repressor is active, it will repress the expression of the tryptophan gene. So you can see over here that in absence of tryptophan, the repressor get dissociated, so RNA polymerase can bind and messenger RNA can be produced. I am repeating things again and again because I want it to be nailed into your brain. Next is when tryptophan is present, repressor can bind, so RNA polymerase cannot produce the messenger RNA. Okay. So let us talk about the very important part of tryptophan operon, that is the structural and functional gene. Similar to lac operon, where we had three genes, galactosidase permease, beta galactosidase, and transacylase. In tryptophan operon, we have 5 structural genes, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, they are responsible for coding for proteins. Okay. Now, what are the proteins? These are the details. Tryptophan A and B code for tryptophan synthetase. C code for indole glycerol phosphate synthetase, and D and E responsible for anthranilate synthesis. All these, actually, these are basically A's. From A's, you can understand all of them are nothing but enzyme. And you know, tryptophan production is not a single step process, isn't it? It is a biochemical pathway. That means A से B बनता होगा, B से C, C से D, D से E, E से F, ऐसे करके tryptophan की synthesis होती होगी. So in each step you require enzyme, and these are producing the enzymes which will be responsible for the production of tryptophan. Okay. Apart from that, it has a regulator gene called TRPR, which will produce the repressor protein, and it has TRPO, that is operator, and promoter region so obviously will be there. So this is the basic structure. TRP A, B, C, D, A. These are called structural genes. How many are structural genes? This much. And all of them are called regulatory because they regulate the expression of the structural gene. So the structure of, yes, Dish, bolo beta.
मैम ये स्ट्रक्चरल जीन्स याद करना है?
You need to know that 5 are there. Maybe you cannot, like for tryptophan operon, it's not required to remember each and every role, but you need to understand. There is nothing difficult, Dish. TRP tryptophan, ABCDE, ABCDE, 5 genes are there. That only you need to do. उसके अलावा क्या होगा? Operator, promoter, and TRP are responsible for synthesis of repressor.
Okay, ma'am.
If you understand, it will be easy for you to remember, no problem. So this is the part, in case of tryptophan operon, there is leader peptide part and attenuator part, which is actually responsible for graded regulation. Graded regulation means tryptophan operon is a bit, like what I can say, complicated than the lac operon. So in this case, you can have graded regulation, means how much production can be controlled. This is done by this leader peptide and attenuator part of the tryptophan operon. So what is attenuation? It is actually the part which is responsible to control progression of RNA polymerase into structural gene. Means it will decide that RNA polymerase should produce the messenger RNA of structural gene or not. Okay. So it will actually reduce the expression of tryptophan operon when tryptophan is naturally present. So obviously, if it is available in the food, available in the medium, you don't require a biosynthetic pathway of tryptophan. So what it does is, it's not blocking the initiation of transformation. It's actually blocking the completion of transformation. Okay, so these are anti-terminator or pause structures which are present in the attenuator section, and this is in turn going to stop the activity of RNA polymerase, and it will stop the synthesis, final synthesis of the structural gene. So this is how it acts. Even if transcription continue, this like at low tryptophan level, this loop is there. So you can see at high tryptophan level, This loop is there. So ribosome bind to the leader peptide, and the moment like loop is there, RNA polymerase although produce the messenger RNA, but loop रहने की वजह से like it is not very actively working on the tryptophan pathway. Although these are just the glimpses, and this attenuation part is actually not of your syllabus. So if you can simply understand this part, it will be enough better. If you are unable to understand that attenuation part, you can simply understand this part, it is enough for you. So I request, if you don't want to confuse your mind, you can do one thing, you can look into this part and let me know if you have any doubt or not. This is the simple part we discussed, switch on and off. Similar diagram for tryptophan operon. Kindly have a look. This part is understood by everyone. Class?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Great. So that's all about gene expression. In eukaryotes, actually, gene expression is quite complicated. Here, cell differentiation is more. So why it is more complicated? Just an overview of gene expression of eukaryotes. You know, in prokaryotes, they are single cell, isn't it? So organism means single cell. So division of labor is not that much. The switching on and off of genes are not that much. But in eukaryotes, if it is a multicellular organism, you can understand that some genes are always switched off in our body. For example, characteristics of nerve cells which are coded by DNA is in always switch off position in case of whom? In case of eukaryotes, isn't it? So their regulation is 1,000 times more complicated. It's not only depending on kick up, switch on and off rehna hai. Apart from that, we need to understand that in eukaryotes, certain genes are always switch off, certain genes are always switch on, and it is not same for all types of cells. जैसे ट्रिप्टोफैन ओपेरॉन का क्योंकि एक ही सेल है, it will be either switch on and off. But in our case, certain genes which are expressed in muscle cell are always switched off in the skin cell. So in eukaryote, the process is more complicated because it is tissue specific and division of labor specific. Okay, so here in this image, you can have a look into it, that two daughter cells are there. Expression of neuron specific gene, so the cell will be neuron. Expression of epithelial specific gene, so it will be epithelial cell. But does it mean कि epithelial specific gene का sequence neuron में नहीं है? है. It is there. All our cells are having same DNA, but the expression is here only this green part, this pink part, although it is here, but it is not getting expressed, which makes the expression of this part more complicated. So with this, we are done with the operon concept. The forum is open for discussion. If you have any doubts, we can talk about it. Any doubts, anyone, beta? Class?
No, ma'am.
So then I want all of us to prepare a sheet where we can point out the difference between tryptophan, operon and lac operon. Okay. So I want all of you to contribute some points and we will together make the list of differences. So try, no problem if you are wrong. Always participate in discussion because it's not about who is answering and who is not answering. It's about if you don't know something or if you know something wrong. Kabhi kabhi, let me tell you, it is very good if you don't know. But knowing wrong thing is a dangerous thing. So that's why you can express your thoughts. I just want to ask you if we want to differentiate between lac operon and trip operon, what are the points we can write? Bolo, chalo. I am expecting points from your side. Yes, Dish.
Ma'am, in tryptophan operon, it consists an operon as A B C D E, means tryptophan A, tryptophan B, tryptophan C, and in lac operon it consists of lac Z, Y, A.
So you are talking about structural genes. That structural genes are A, B, C, D, E. And in case of lac operon, the structural genes are
Z, Y, A, I.
what, YA?
Z, Y, A.
Chalo, 1 point we added. I can see some other hands are also raised. Other than Dish, someone else was raising hand. Yes, Kausha.
Ma'am, lac operon is a catabolic pathway and tryptophan operon is an anabolic pathway.
No, your answer is correct, but we need to frame it correctly. Okay. Like when we are talking here about not the difference of pathway, we are talking about difference of tryptophan operon and lac operon. Okay, so we can say that lac operon or controls and catabolic pathway. And tripoperon okay, I can see some more hands raised. Such a relief to see you people are participating. Yes, Yesha.
Ma'am, in lac operon, repressor is active in normal condition, and in tryptophan operon, repressor is inactive during normal condition.
So in absence of inducer, or if we want to write in normal condition, it will be more easy for you to understand. In normal condition, so what is this normal condition means? Normal condition means jab glucose is there and lactose is not there. So we can mention it like this. So repressor is active. Okay. Whereas here, what is the normal condition? In normal condition, in normal condition means यहाँ पे normal condition क्या है? In absence of tryptophan, isn't it? So repressor is inactive. Vish, bolo, you raised your hand.
Ma'am, in tryptophan condition, it cannot bind in promoter region, but in lactoperon, it binds in promoter region.
Tryptophan, operon, it cannot bind to promo. What cannot, like in RNA polymerase? You wish to mention
Yes,
about
ma'am.
RNA polymers, but that is so in
Yes, ma'am.
lactoperon also it is same, no? Let's come to the difference, which are typical difference. Can we say here that like inducer bind to repressor? Here, what is binding to repressor? The co-repressor bind to repressor. Second thing, like this is the fifth point I think I am mentioning. Here, inducer turn the operon on. Here, co-repressor turn the operon off. Any other like points that is coming in your 6 point? It's coming into my mind. Yes, I can see two people raising hand. Yes, Kausha.
Ma'am, it has two types of gene regulation, negative and positive. And whereas in tryptophan, it has only one type of gene regulation.
Oh, beta, there will also it have negative, positive both, no? In normal condition, it is positive. In like when you need to stop, it will be negative only, no? How come it will have only on off both the position are there? We can say that it turn on only in presence of substrate. And here we can say that end product act as feedback inhibitor. So I guess these many points are enough. Like if anything else is coming in your mind, Is there anything that we can mention?
मैम वो मैकेनिज्म वाला
Which mechanism, beta?
मैम in lac operon it does not have attenuation mechanism, but in
Uh,
triptopteron
Very
it
good,
has.
very good. It doesn't have attenuation, but it has the like enhancer. But here the tryptophan operon has attenuation and guiding sequences also. That you can add up as a point, but as I told you, that part is not at all actually part of CBSE. I just explained to you just for extra knowledge. So if you are writing these 6 differences, it is perfectly all right. And I think now you will have a very good idea about what it is, like what is a tryptophan operon, what it is a lac operon. No doubt should be there. So am I understanding it rightly that no doubt is there or still some doubts are there? Class?
No doubts, ma'am.
Great. So we will move towards the last part of this chapter. There is something very good mentioned at the end of this chapter, that is about Human Genome Project. Okay, so we are going to talk about that. Before that, I will give you an idea about what are the parts we studied in NCERT, and because why I prefer to refer NCERT, because beta whatever we do ultimately that is our textbook. So we need to actually have a look into what are the parts we covered up in NCERT. Okay, so have you studied in NCERT like the parts we discussed? Is there any
Yes, ma'am,
doubt,
till
any line of book? Because sometimes they can have I can say lines which are confusingly written, and you may find it difficult to understand. Yes, Dish.
until translation I had studied.
So it is almost, actually it's not at all in the tabulated version. That's why sometimes it is really difficult for a student to get confused. So I request all of you to finally have a look into the NCERT so that it should not be confusing to you at all, and you can go at par. Because why I am stressing much, see beta, whenever MCQ examination is there as board examination, generally students get very happy कि बाबा MCQ है, we will score good. But it is observed that in MCQ it is most difficult to answer, because book में कोई भी line उठा के they can ask you question. So you need to really read thoroughly the syllabus, that is your textbook. So just wish to share, we completed water part. We talked about structure of DNA in detail. I guess no one is having any doubt. Then extra thing we learned here is we talked about RNA also. We talked about different types of DNA also. Then we studied about the packaging of DNA, that is the solenoid model. The diagram is not at all described here, but I showed you the diagram, that how finally DNA can be coiled around histone to give rise to chromosome. Then in search of genetic material, we studied 3 of the experiments, that is experiment of Griffith. We talked about the experiment of Afray, MacLeod, McCarthy, and Hartley Chase Brendel's experiment. And the idea was the bacteria, if it is bacteria, if it is virus, whatever it is, the genetic material is DNA. Now, this part is actually talking about why RNA cannot be the genetic material. So you need to look upon the difference of DNA and RNA, and due to single-stranded nature of RNA, it is by default understood that DNA is more stable, and genetic information is something where we need to search for a method or search for an alternative which is more safe. So that's why in majority organism it is DNA. Exception is virus, but they are very simple organisms also, we cannot tell in case of virus. So they are simple entities, so they can manage with RNA. That's why they have genetic material as RNA. So this is the RNA world. I told you in transcription, especially in eukaryotes, we talked about spliceosome and splicing and SNPs. These are catalytic RNA, and it was thought that during evolution, this was the first genetic material. Then we studied about Messelson-Stahl experiment, who proved that the replication is conservative. We used density gradient centrifugation. We talked about the initiation, elongation, and termination of replication process. Here a few things we learned that I wish to pinpoint. One is what is leading strand, what is lagging strand. Why in one strand the replication is continuous, in other strand it is discontinuous. As you can see, what are Okazaki fragment. So why it is like this, we talked about it. Then we talked about the protein synthesis, where transcription and translation is there. In transcription part, it's nothing but a part which is responsible for copying the genetic information in messenger RNA. So हमने ये भी पढ़ा था कि ट्रांसक्रिप्शन क्यों चाहिए, क्यों डीएनए डायरेक्ट राइबोसोम में नहीं जा सकता. So this is in transcription also there is requirement of initiation, elongation and termination. Row dependent, row independent, everything is taught to you, beta. So this is all. Now, then we studied about genetic code, and before that, obviously, we talked about the post-transcriptional modification that is occurring in eukaryotes, not in prokaryotes. Genetic code. We talked about the properties of genetic codes. We knew what is start codon, what is stop codon, and obviously the impact of deletion and addition of one nucleotide, how we can talk about that. Then we talked about RNA, different types of RNA, that is tRNA, rRNA, and mRNA. Finally, the translation process. But with this, we are not satisfied. We understood that transcription and translation can occur, but it should not occur without control. There should be some control over these processes. There comes in picture the gene expression, which was the last part. We talked about the operon concept, which is about lag operon and tryptophan operon. So after a lot of discussion, this is the last part of our topic or this chapter, that is Human Genome Project. So I request once again to all of you humbly, this is a very important chapter. Kindly have a look into the previous lectures, and if you have any doubt, Wednesday we will take only doubts of these two chapters. We will discuss the question answers of this chapter, and we may if possible, can we plan a quick test on Wednesday through quizzes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I think it will be nice. Okay. So let's talk about Human Genome Project. What was the requirement of Human Genome Project? See, The moment we started learning about different types of, like, what I can say, uh, information about human genome, the basic idea that was coming into mind of people is to know more about human genome. Why? What is the benefit of knowing more about human genome? Whatever human do, we are very greedy people, and our first and foremost important, like, idea was to get benefit of it. Okay, so how we can get benefited if we know about the human genome? We know there are genetic disorders in case of which we are helpless. I guess the screen is visible to all of you, better.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
are helpless in such cases because they are generated due to defect in the DNA. So obviously, if we know the genome, and genome study means doesn't mean only the overall study. If we know the DNA sequence of a specific part, and if we know that this part is which gene and it will have responsibility of expression of which character, then we can play with that character. Consider in case of sickle cell anemia, there is a faulty gene. We all of us know that in case of sickle cell anemia, a person is born with a faulty gene. If I know that this, out of this long part of DNA, only this part is responsible for sickle cell anemia, I can easily replace this part with a healthy gene, isn't it? I can. Then the person do not go for medication throughout the life. Similarly, we can go for recombinant DNA technology, where we can create new organisms which are called GM organisms, that is genetically modified organism. So National Human Genome Research Institute, that is NIH, was like initiated with this project, and US government started this project in 1990. So at that time it was very difficult because too much data was there, and handling it manually was not at all a good idea. You can understand that how big our DNA is, and to write this much data in a place and to check that if there is no mistake, and most important thing, it cannot be done by a single laboratory. There should be collaboration. To share that data without committing mistake was the biggest challenge scientists had. So Human Genome Project was initially started in 1990, and it was coordinated by Department of Energy and the National Institute of Health. But remember this word coordinated, they didn't do it alone. Okay, so it is a mega project. Why? Because it has 3 multiplied by 10 raised to 9 base pair. And the cost was very high, because if you can understand, it is $3 per base pair, मतलब आप $9 billion का ये project था approximately. क्योंकि sequence को देखने से पता नहीं चलेगा ना बेटा, we need to find out the sequence. Now things are very cheap because we have alternative. So the biggest part I want to focus here is if it has to be stored in a typed form in the book, and if each page of book contain 1000 letter, each book contain 1000 page, then 3300 such book needs to be stored in the for a single human cell. So you can understand kitna bada data tha ye. So obviously it was not easy to handle. Actually, after the incorporating scientific intervention, that is by use of computer, which was brought into the picture by a person named Alec Jeffrey. This work was easy, collaboration was easy because sharing data was easy. So what was the goal of this project? We have almost 20,000 to 25,000 genes in human being. So first aim was to identify each of them कि DNA में कहाँ पे कौन सा जीन रहता है, उसकी सीक्वेंस क्या होती है और वो कौन सी प्रोटीन प्रोड्यूस करता है. Apart from that, DNA sequence of 30 billion bases of human DNA. It was required to store that into database, and some improved data analysis tools were required, and there was ethical, legal and social issue also. So what is this ethical, legal and social issue? You know, एक पौराणिक गाथाओं में बोला जाता था कि एक राक्षस की प्राण एक छोटी सी डब्बी में रहती है, उसके अंदर एक भंवरा रहता है, उसको मार दो तो राक्षस मर जाते हैं. Have you ever heard about such stories? एक बर्ड में रहता है, something like that. बेटा ऐसे सुना है कि राक्षस का प्राण कहीं और रहता है, आपको वहां जाके मारनी पड़ेगी. मे बी यू आर नॉट सच फॉन्ड ऑफ स्टोरी बुक्स. हमारी पूरी इंफॉर्मेशन हमारी डीएनए में रहती है. तो इफ एनीवन कम्स टू यू एंड आस्क यू कि आपकी डीएनए दे दो, मुझे उसकी सीक्वेंसिंग करनी है, then that person will know what are the genetic disorders I am having, what are the characters that is transmitted in my family. So it was not a very good easy thing to convince people. So there were ethical, legal and social issues, and there need to be certain norms which every scientist needs to follow. मतलब वो उठा के बस वो डेटा किसी और को दे नहीं सकते. They need to have a proper secrecy maintained. Now these methodologies had two approaches. First of all is, you know that one approach is sequencing part of DNA which code for protein. You know, many a times I told you the DNA, total DNA we have, it's not coding for protein. Some part of it is coding for protein, and that is known as exon. So do we really require the sequence and like other part of exons? Yes, but do we require intron sequencing? No. Then why we are wasting so much money in coding for those parts? So this first methodology, first approach was about express sequence tag, means आपकी लंबी सी डीएनए जो प्रेजेंट है, in that DNA this part is a gene, this part is nothing, again this part is a gene, this part is nothing. So I am going to check for the messenger RNA so that I can code only the part which is coding for protein, because that is the part of my interest. I am least interested about these parts which are junk. Okay, is it clear to everyone? Class, the first approach. Abhi,
Yes,
Abhi, you understand, beta? Yes, Abhi is giving thumbs up. Good. So, second approach is blind approach. It is about sequencing the whole set of genome. They didn't paid attention कि कौन सा coding है, कौन सा non coding है, and after that they use sequence annotation, and then they sequence the whole thing, and then they thought about what is coding, what is not coding. So these are the two methodologies adopted by different types of scientists, because I told you it was not done by single So what are the human genomes procedure? So the conclusion was it had these many nucleotides, and each gene will have average 3000 bases. But in some cases it may be big, in some cases it may be small, but average is 3000. So the largest human gene is of dystrophin, which has 2.4 million bases, and total number of genes was 30,000. जो पहले सोचा जाता था कि ह्यूमन जीनोम में 80,000 to 1,40,000 जीन होगा, but it is quite low क्योंकि लोगों को पता ही नहीं था कि most of the part is junk. Almost 99.9% of nucleotide bases are same. So you can extend U and B are having 99.9% DNA same. Only that 0.1% which is differing U and B. Still we don't know 50% of the genes function, and less than 2% genome code for protein. So you can understand in our DNA 98% is junk, only 2% can code for protein. So this is how actually the human chromosomal representation look. So it's like chromosome number 1 we are showing, and these are different types of information you can obtain. Don't worry, you don't have to remember them, it looks scary, but you can see. Just want to tell you, देखो कैटरैक्ट के लिए भी कौन सा जीन रिस्पॉन्सिबल है, दैट इज मार्क्ड ओवर हियर. So many things are there, like it's so helpful for us to understand. So the Y gene is the smallest gene, and this is the mapping of the Y gene. The largest one is this one, 246 million base pair, and you can see it is actually loaded with different gene and information. And this is the shortest one. So it's like having these many genes. So how interesting do you think it can be? There may be repeated sequence which were like found in human genome. Generally, one chromosome can have 2,968 genes, but the Y chromosome is very small, so it is having 231. And like there were SNPs found out. What are these SNPs? That is single nucleotide polymorphism. Means, what do we mean by SNPs? Consider you have a sequence A, T, C, G, C, T, A, G. Now, all thing is same, only this C is G. So this is polymorphism number 1. This is polymorphism number 2. You can have A, T, T, G, C, T, A, G. So I am showing you with a very like short sequence, so it will be easy for you to understand. So based on only single nucleotide, you can see 4 types of polymorphism you can be observing. Such type of polymorphism is called SNP, that is single nucleotide polymorphism. Okay, and this polymorphism is very useful in finding out which gene is located at which position, because they are the part which is different in everyone, and they are kind of guide us in locating the genes. So this is about DNA fingerprinting. we are going to talk about DNA fingerprinting in our next lecture, because it is a big topic. I want it to not to rush and finish it. So what idea you had about Human Genome Project, beta? It was actually responsible for origin of a new era that is called bioinformatics. So what is this bioinformatics? It means storage and handling of data of biological genetic material via informatics, that is computer. So before human, they obviously tried with other small organisms like bacterial artificial chromosomes and yeast artificial chromosomes were created on their studies only. But human genome was a breakthrough thing. आप सोचो 1990 में वो start हुआ था. Do you know when it was completed? In May 2006. So how many years, beta?
1990.
90, yes. उससे पे 1919 में कैसे होगा बेटा?
Yes.
तब तो डीएनए स्ट्रक्चर ही नहीं पता था. Watson and Crick discovered DNA structure in 53. So how many years it is?
16 years.
16 years. Like in our society, scientists are most this is what I can say, most thankless job people do. But it takes a lot, and it's like it's enjoyment to go for research. So that is all from my side today. Next day we will first have a look into the video of Human Genome Project, and then I will give you brief idea about this one, DNA fingerprinting. So I'm not worried about completion of this chapter, because anyways we are not going to cover it for the next test. But you come up with your doubt of chapter 5. I want you people to really perform well. Any other important part you want to discuss, beta? Acha, we had a descriptive test for chapter number 2. I don't think, isn't it?
And what in chapter 1, 2, 3?
नहीं, हमने फर्स्ट जो descriptive test लिया था, that is subjective test. In that we had chapter number 1, 3 and 4. Chapter number 2 was not covered, no? So
Ma'am,
better.
chapter 1, 2 and 3 was there. Chapter
No,
4
ma'am, it
not-
was there.
It was there. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Chapter 4 was not there.
Okay. So I was thinking it will be a difficult for me to prepare question paper from only, because 50 marks question paper only from chapter number 5 will be difficult. So can we include chapter number 2 once again?
Yes, ma'am.
So I think the test syllabus will be chapter number 2 and 5. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, beta, then we will meet on Wednesday. Keep your doubts ready so that you can shoot them at me and we can have a discussion, fruitful discussion. Okay.